Is someone cutting onions in here? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 guy cry movies.
Buongiorno, principessa!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at films that we feel are the most effective at hitting all the right notes to break down the typical macho male stereotypes and that demonstrate that men can have a soft side too. For any dudes watching, be warned. These flicks will probably make you bawl into your pillow all night long. Also, a spoiler alert is in order.
You be still, Mr. Jenkins. You be so quiet, so still.
Number 10, Logan.
And it is better this way. Because I suck at this.
Who would have expected a movie about an aged mutant with razor-sharp claws and a wicked temper to hit us right in the feels? Well, thanks to director James Mangold's smart decision to move away from superheroics for a more personal tale about family and redemption, the third solo Wolverine flick was just as emotionally moving as it was extremely violent. Whether you have tears of joy from seeing Logan's triumphant berserker rages one last time, or are bawling from the loving bond he creates with Laura, this is one comic book movie that tugs at the heartstrings far more than any of its counterparts.
I've hurt people too.
You're gonna have to learn how to live with that.
Number 9, Furious 7.
That's where he belongs.
Home.
After the tragic death of Paul Walker, the 7th film in this franchise was delayed in order to give the loved ones time to mourn and the filmmakers time to decide how to respectfully continue without the actor. Alongside the movie's resonant themes about the importance of family and friendship, the final scene in particular packs one heck of a heart-wrenching conclusion.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
As we see Dom and Brian driving alongside each other on an open road, we're treated to flashbacks of times the two shared in prior films, paying tribute to both the character and Paul Walker himself, and indicating that his memory will never die as they both go their separate ways.
Yeah, we came a long way. I'll see you again.
Number 8, Rudy.
Have I done everything I possibly can? Can you help me?
We all have a dream, and that's what makes this film based on a true story so powerful. Rudy wants nothing more than to play football at the University of Notre Dame, despite a series of overwhelming odds and unexpected roadblocks.
I don't care what kind of job I did. If it doesn't produce results, it doesn't mean anything.
As we watch Rudy struggle to convince the school to admit him, we really begin to feel for his hardship while simultaneously rooting for him based on his undying determination.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
Once Rudy finally achieves what he wanted to do, don't be surprised if you find yourself standing and cheering for his accomplishment, as we all know what it's like to struggle towards a goal, and the rewarding pride we sense upon achieving it. Number 7, The Green Mile.
You be still.
The concept of a personal journey during life in prison isn't a new one, as it's been done several times in movies, as in the other Stephen King tale, the Oscar-nominated The Shawshank Redemption.
Get busy living. You get busy dying.
However, we'd argue that The Green Mile delivers its heartfelt message more effectively. Much of this can be attributed to the stellar performances from Tom Hanks and Michael Clarke Duncan as we watch their characters bond and share their personal experiences and perspectives.
Can you understand? Yes, John, I think I can.
The subject matter is dark, but if the film successfully teaches us anything, it's how to hold on to hope even in the direst of situations. If that's not worthy of shedding a tear or two, then what is?
You can't have what's in your heart.
Number 6, Warrior.
You won't forgive me, but you forgave Pop.
Brothers fight. It's just sibling nature. But to have a square off in a brutal MMA cage fight is another thing entirely. Warrior establishes that the relationship between brothers Tommy and Brendan hasn't exactly been all that buddy-buddy, with a great deal of distance created between them over the years.
You got balls talking about forgiveness.
Despite their estranged family dynamics, as well as the dozens of punches and kicks they toss at each other's faces, these two brothers manage to put their differences aside and realize how much they actually care for one another. It's a stunning display of the unconditional love found in brotherhood and packs quite the punch. Number 5, Forrest Gump.
Are you stupid or something?
I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
Watching the life, struggles, and triumphs of Forrest Gump is enough to make even the most stoic, burly man bawl his eyes out. Tom Hanks is no stranger to emotionally charged films, like the epic drama Castaway.
I have met
but it's his tender, kind-hearted performance as Mr. Gump, a man born a little different, but still with a heart of gold, who's trying to find his place in the world, that hits way harder.
Run, Forrest! Run!
Whether Forrest is explaining to Jenny how he understands the concept of love, meeting his son, or summing up life with a box of chocolates, this man brings us some valuable life lessons, and we should bring along some tissues.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Number 4, Interstellar.
Mankind was born on Earth. It was never meant to die here.
When Earth's resources are exhausted, former NASA pilot Cooper has no choice but to help in a reconnaissance mission to find a new planet for humanity to call home. Saving the human race means Cooper has to leave his family behind, which includes his young daughter Murph, with whom he shares an incredibly strong bond.
I'm coming back.
When?
Any fathers watching would feel the weight of having to leave their child for a greater good. Pouring even more salt on the wound, Cooper receives video messages from Earth and has to witness all the events he is missing in his daughter's life, with one scene having him break down entirely, and we're inclined to join him.
Today I'm the age you were when you left. This might be a real good time for you to come back.
Number 3, Good Will Hunting.
You're the one that's afraid.
I'm afraid. What am I afraid of?
In this extremely personal story about finding your place in the world and moving on from the hardships of life, there's no shortage of moments to send waterfalls flowing out from your eyes.
I'm pumped. Let's let the healing begin.
As we learn more about Will's many difficulties in life, we feel more connected with him and whatever pain he goes through, and we fully sympathize. Take your pick for the saddest scene, but most would agree it's the powerfully acted and written "It's Not Your Fault" sequence.
It's not your fault.
With all that in mind, it's not your fault either if you end up crying in this movie. Grab a buddy and hug it out. It'll be okay.
You know what the best part of my day is? For about 10 seconds from when I pull up to the curb when I get to your door.
Number 2, Brian's song.
I love Brian Piccolo. And I'd like all of you to love him too.
Sports are recognized for developing friendships and bringing people together despite difficulties of modern life. Nowhere is this more evident than in Brian's Song, an ABC TV movie that was later released in theaters.
I think it's working. It was working. I'm getting you overconfident.
Based in the mid-60s, when racial tension was highly prevalent within American society, football players Brian and Gail shatter all societal norms of their day by forming an unbreakable friendship despite the colors of their skin.
Gail, I think I'm pregnant.
Their shared connection served as a symbol of civility and harmony in an era that otherwise frowned upon it, as they stayed by one another's side through all trials and tribulations, including Brian developing cancer. Now that's a true bromance right there.
Oh, what then? I'm trying, yeah.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
The dreams of an entire planet are focused tonight on those 14 brave souls traveling into the heavens.
That man's not a salesman. That's your daddy.
Let your head rest in my hand. Relax. I got you, I promise. I'm not gonna let you go. Hey man, I got you.
Number 1, Field of Dreams. Iowa farmer Ray Kinsella is a simple man who one day hears voices urging him to build something, which Ray interprets as a baseball field. He sets up a baseball diamond in his cornfield, and before he knows it, baseball stars of the past, like Shoeless Joe Jackson, visit him.
That's Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Of course it is. I mean, you didn't believe me?
Despite others taunting him, and the fact that it threatens to send him into bankruptcy, Ray maintains the field. In the end, this field allows Ray to learn more about himself than he ever imagined, as well as providing him the chance to introduce his daughter to her grandfather, as he ends up being one of the many visitors on the field.
Hi, John.
Hiya, Karen.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.